we're a small business that, as was mentioned, our vision, our mission is to enable islands and coastal communities to reach their full potential. And we think unlocking the value of green energy can help power the blue economy. And so when we talk about the full potential of islands and coastal communities, what we mean by that is really sustainable foundation that is based on some basic needs of the citizens. And for our perspective, our solutions really address things like water security, drinking water, water for agriculture, energy security. That means green types of energy, whether that's electricity or hydrogen or other types of green fuels, food security through ACRE and aquaculture, as well as ultimately economic security. By unlocking all of these new industries, we think we have the opportunity collectively to create many more new jobs, good jobs, well-paying jobs, areas where we can actually enhance the educational and living opportunities for all the peoples in these regions. Having said that, obviously, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but there are many challenges that, as we think about these solutions, that we need to address. And I won't drain this slide, or as I said, I'm probably preaching to the choir. But I think as we looked at this, we realized that the challenges are not only systemic, meaning they've been in the environment for a long time, but they are interrelated. And unfortunately, some of them compound each other. So the high costs of imports, for example, results in high costs of energy, which then flows through into all parts of the economy. And so this is really important to how we think about how to solve some of these problems, because as probably we've all experienced in our lifetimes, trying to solve a systemic problem with a point solution sometimes is very difficult to do. And so as we've thought about how do we contribute to solving this, we've brought a systems approach to solving, we think, multiple of these underlying root causes with a single integrated architecture. And this architecture, this solution, really takes local resources to solve the challenge for the most part. So the major resource that Seacosystems seeks to leverage is ocean water. And as you can see from this chart, we have many elements to this solution, some which create clean energy through ocean thermal energy conversion, some of which can create potable water through desalination module that is integrated with the ocean thermal energy conversion. And then downstream from that, many different applications of that valuable resource, that valuable water, including powering an algae-based biorefinery, including cooling of either data centers or tourism-related buildings through the deep ocean water that is at 4 degrees Celsius, or other downstream value-added activities, aquaculture, or other blue economy types of applications. In addition to being integrated, we think it's important that this solution be modular, meaning you don't need to invest in each of these boxes to get started, because that would be prohibitive for many of our clients. So it's modular in that you can start in many of these different places and then build out from there as you see value. And so today, I really want to deep dive on one of the starting points, which is a template project around the algae biorefinery. So this is a project that we have started working on with the within the island of St. Croix, US Virgin Islands. It's a collaboration between Seacosystems, the Virgin Island Department of Agriculture, and the University of the Virgin Islands. We also have strong support from other government agencies, such as the Department of Natural Resources and the Waste Management Authority, as well as local food and farming groups. The output of this project is, on an annual basis, 40,000 gallons of algae oil, 120 metric tons of organic fertilizer, as well as a variable amount of green biogas. And the variability is because you could actually use the same solution to eliminate other types of solid waste in addition to the algae biomass. Why did we choose to start with algae? is probably one of the questions on people's minds. As probably some of the people on the call know, algae is widely known to be multiple times more productive than terrestrial plants. It's also locally occurring. It requires no soil or fresh water to grow. And so these are, to us, it's a perfect product for the island and coastal community environment. Algae also, many strains of algae are contain as much protein as soy. And importantly for us, because one of our outputs is the algae oil, contain high levels of lipids, which can be turned into many different value-added products. We think we can get to first product with this project within about 12 months and be at full production within 24 months. And our end markets for the algae oil are primarily specialty flavors, fragrances, and pheromone companies, of which we've already gauged interest and in some cases have verbal agreements for offtake. So the algae oil can be monetized much higher than typical products like biofuel. The specialty chemicals in algae oil are worth 10 to 20 times the value of typical biofuel. The end markets for the organic fertilizer are the growing numbers of organic farms around the world. This fertilizer can also be marketed as vegan. So for those that want to switch from other organic fertilizers like manure to be vegan, we think this is highly attractive. And both of these markets, algae oil, which is about a $3 billion global market, and organic fertilizers based on seaweed, which is about a $2 billion market, are both growing very rapidly. So it's a very attractive new business for islands and coastal communities. This is great for the environment as well. Just to give one example, obviously switching from petrochemicals to algae oil is great for the environment. Switching from typical industrial fertilizers to organic is also extremely valuable for the environment. Industrial fertilizers are based on chemical processes that today consume about 1% of the world's energy use and create 1% of the world's greenhouse gases. And by moving to an algae-based organic fertilizer, we think this decreases fertilizer production contribution to greenhouse gas and energy by about 95%. So it's great to move to new ways of producing fertilizer.
Hi, Hans. Yep.
I'm at the end of my time. Okay, so
the end of your time.
yeah. So this model's been
We're so
proven.
hard to interrupt you because it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just 10 seconds. I'll just share my email at the end here, hwang@seacosystems.com. So thanks for the opportunity and look forward to the follow-up.
And we'll be sharing your information.